The Sultans lived in the Topkapi Palace in Istanbul. The Sultan's life was run by rituals copied from the Byzantine court. For example, the Sultan wore his silk robes once and then they were discarded. Many now are preserved in the Topkapi Museum. The Topkapi Palace held many objects which were used to give legitimacy to the Ottomans and reinforce the Sultan's claim to be leader of all Muslims. The most important of these was the mantle of the Prophet Muhammad and his standard and footprint. These were brought from Egypt when Cairo fell to the Ottomans. It was in the harem that the Sultan spent his life. Every inhabitant of the 230 small dark rooms in the Topkapi Palace was his to command. The number of concubines often exceeded 1,000 and came from all over the world. The only permanent male staff consisted of eunuchs. Access to the Sultan meant power. But no one was to be trusted. The Sultan moved every night to avoid assassination. Favored males were promoted to rule places far away like Syria. Males not in favor could be locked up inside the palace. The harem was a paradox, since it was a feature of the Ottoman Empire, and other Islamic states, yet contained much that was not permissible in Islam. The harem was extravagant, decadent, and vulgar. The concentration of wealth, suffering and injustice toward women was far from the ideals of marriage and married life in Islam. Despite this, the harem could bring benefits to a family who had a woman in the harem. It meant patronage, wealth, and power. It meant access to the most powerful man in the empire, the Sultan. Influences and structure. Although the Ottoman Empire was widely influenced by the faiths and customs of the peoples it incorporated, the most significant influences came from Islam. The ruling elite worked their way up the hierarchy of the state madrasas, religious schools, and the palace schools. They were trained to be concerned with the needs of government and to be mindful of the restrictions of Islamic law. In its structure, the ruling elite reflected a world of order and hierarchy in which promotion and status were rewarded on merit. Thus birth and genealogy, aristocracy, or tribe became almost irrelevant to success in the system. Only one post, that of the Sultan, was determined by birth.